Gene Bond art. Art. Gene Bond art. Gene Bond art. Gene Bond art.
Some camera adjustment. Wait a second. Yeah, later we'll cut this beginning part of a video. Так. The shadow from camera. So annoying. Ah, it's from my hand. Okay. Так. Also need to put ice in my coffee. So let's do one short video.
Madness. This is Gene Bond art.
Так. Concrete. So let's see. So here I took some of these pictures. Yeah, so you see again from beginning can start to categorize all these kind of parts. It's also your learning process. It's your like training of perspective too, perspective composition, whatever. It's like you need to clarify everything you work with. So even when you break down, make some kind of like classification, it's also very, very beneficial kind of. Let's see. Coulter Sun Art. Cool. Thank you. Goat is streaming. So we see here we have this like curved horizon line, down shot. So it's like it's kind of like 3-point perspective in fisheye, and third vanishing point. No, I mean just like quote unquote third. It's nadir here. It's not zenith, so it's like vanishing point underground, below horizon line. Same kind of perspective we have here, and here this same perspective became like 6-point. So, and kind of like, yeah, we'll show it right now because I was already kind of little talk about this. I was talking this in my book. I'm working now. This perspective with curved horizon line, when it's curved this way or it's curved opposite way, but opposite direction, it's part of it's kind of like simplified version of 6-point perspective. Так, microphone here. So, and it's similar to like 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective being like a simplified version of 5-point perspective. Like maybe, yeah, let me draw it for you, because some kind of theory, interesting theory. Так, docs. Go here. Так, so we have. So 5-point perspective, right? Y vanishing point. Y. Whoa, 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 whoa. So this Z, X, X, and I have this grid. Okay. So this 5-point perspective grid kind of like contains inside 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective. So 1 point, you see this Z vanishing point, horizon line. It's this what we have here, horizon line, Z vanishing point. Only it's like I say, it's a simplified version because it's like if we have the 5-point perspective, curvilinear because it's a wide angle, because it's like wide lens kind of. It's taken like 180 field of view from camera, right? So it's like if here standing camera on a tripod, so it's like 180, like half of visual sphere. It's here, it's a projection of this 180 visual sphere. So 1-point perspective dealing with very narrow part of it is like tunnel vision. It's like, you know, like we have this like central vision, which is like always like, no, I don't know, like it's very narrow when we see details, right? So and it's like interesting effect when we kind of look in this small area in a 5-point perspective grid, right? So this Z vanishing point. It's like it's so close to center that this y-axis became almost just like a straight lines. You see? So it's kind of like here. So in result we have y-axis being just like parallel lines, and but in same time it's also is kind of like technical simplification, because also what people confuse with perspective, right? They kind of think it's being like really like extracted from reality somehow. It's like, oh, it's here, we have like perspective axis, we have vanishing point in the world, and we kind of catching them and put in the art, right? No, in reality it doesn't work like this. In reality is like some people look around and they say like, okay, how can I explain it? How can I like formulate what is surrounding me? How can I make like similar representation of what I see around me, right? And they create this visual language, they create this technique, they create these tools. So it's absolutely made up, right? So, and then here we see is like if any in perspective is just like certain ways which look just because they're so efficient and so close, very close, but not reality. You know, they're close to representing reality. They help so much that everybody use it. It's became like very useful and convention, right? But nature of it remain artificial. It doesn't change fact that it's just artificial. It's like people make books. People don't find books in the nature, you know. We made them, and then they became just kind of like normal thing, like default, or you can call it like natural. No, yeah, it's called like second nature, civilization, culture. You know, it's called like second nature because it's the nature of human environment. Like if you live in a civilized world, books is a important like component of our like civilization. So and the 5-point perspective grid, it's kind of like concept idea, right? So and 1-point perspective grid, 2-point perspective grid, it's also idea. They just have this connection. Yes, it's kind of, we can say they connect with this 5-point perspective grid, relate like a relatives, you know. But their idea just little more simplified, is like more little more primitive, maybe can say, right? So on 2-point perspective, it's like if we take this area from perspective grid, because we have this x vanishing point here and we have this z vanishing point. So in a 5-point grid, x should go like curved direction, right? It should go like this. But in 2-point perspective, it's simplified to straight lines. So it's just kind of like made it little less sophisticated. That's it. You know what I mean, kind of. It's just a convention. That's it. And a 3-point perspective is kind of like this part of 5-point perspective grid. So we have 3-point. Right, so we have here x, z, y. And again, you see, it's kind of like in a 5-point grid, it should be like this. So it should go like curved. And then this like this. But convention of 3-point perspective grid, simplifying it into straight lines, and y vanishing point usually more like in the center, not above a z vanishing point, is about in the middle somewhere here. Okay, so and like with this like linear perspective grids, 1-point, 2-point, 3-point, even like 4-point. Yeah, let's take 4-point. Also interesting horizon line. So we have x, z, and we have y zenith and y nadir. So it's like there is another type of 4-point perspective grid, and but then also we can talk about this. So you see, it's like 2 3-point grids together in one picture. So it's look kind of this. So y-axis goes this way above horizon line, zenith, and nadir goes this way. So x will go like this, and z go like this. So before I didn't even know this type of grid. I always use, just curvilinear kind of. But then I seen it in workshop from Ryan Berry, Nine Monkeys, if you know. Let's me write Ryan. I hope write correct, Berry. Google will fix you if you will look. He drawing like crazy robots, like super mechanical stuff. So what I want to show here, what I explain in here, is like this linear perspective, kind of related to 5-point perspective grid. But here we have this perspective when we have horizon line curved, even circular, right? No, wait a second. Yeah, when we have horizon line curve, its mean is related to 6-point perspective grid, but it's not exactly a 6-point grid. It's like little simplified. And I kind of divide in these two grids because, yeah, this one, it's a 6-point perspective grid. When you have horizon line like a circle, so this horizon line, right? So this 6-point perspective grid, it's like 360 degree, or if like we have camera here on a tripod, so it means camera have like 360 field of view, like recording it, right? In all 360 direction. When you have horizon line like curve, it's based on 6-point perspective, but little more simplified. Little, so it's like kind of like a linear perspective related to 5-point grid. So, for example, let me make it clear here. So when we have horizon line like circle, and we have in the center this nadir, y nadir, right? So it means it's downshot, and it means like in this picture on the right, it means that inside horizon line we have ground. Okay, if we have horizon line as circle and inside y vanishing point zenith, then it means inside this horizon line circle it's a sky. Okay, so it's like you might see before, maybe it's like, let's say, like city skyline, kind of this, like we have buildings, right? And then here is like road on the ground. I have this picture. I will find it. It says some motorcycle here, kind of, right? Let me give you this picture. Yeah, Tech. Uh-huh. No, like this, right? So it's Tokyo. Right. So you see this vanishing point in the center of a circle. It's is zenith. This it's a horizon line. So, and what like similar in this type of perspective is kind of similar to 5-point perspective. It's just because we have like circle and cross. But in 5-point perspective, horizon line, it's this line, right? In fish eye, in this kind of 6-point perspective grid, 360 grid, horizon line, it's circle. No, I mean, it's circle when we have this like up or down view. So it's like this kind of like where everybody brain is melting, you know, because again, it's nobody explaining this. I don't see it anywhere. Because like another kind of crazy stuff about perspective grids, it's like how perspective grid, like what it's actually show. Like it try to think about what actually represent perspective grid. And in reality, it's kind of like, it's absolutely insane. It's like, it's some kind of like intersection of your subjective visual perception and the space around you. Okay, so this, let's say, space, right? Space, like objects and space, everything, it's a box, right? Like 3D space, 3D, which means like we have like top, bottom, left, right, front, back, like three dimensions, 3 set. So it's like top, bottom is 1 set, front, back, it's 2nd set, and left, right, it's a 3rd set, right? 3 axis kind of. So space, it's a box, like in any object, it's a box. And then we have visual perception. And visual perception, you can say it's a box too, but no. Actually, and this is kind of make it crazy. It's make it some kind of like, you know, Illuminati stuff. Because I read about the stuff like in Masons, they have this concept of cube and sphere. So it's like, it's one thing, like they have like a rough stone, for example, rock, right? So you kind of go in the nature and there is some kind of rock, like, and the master kind of, he making from a rock, making like a perfect block, kind of like a brick or no cube kind of, let's say, right, with like perfect straight edges and stuff, right? So it's like we see in this movie Odyssey, Space Odyssey, right? It's like kind of Masonic symbol of this like perfect rock. And then, or Pythagorean symbol, like still researching, kind of crazy. If some Masons here, like, give me some secret knowledge, please, in the comment. So, and then there's idea of like, in this kind of like Pythagorean stuff, like the geometry stuff, it's like making from a stone, make a sphere. So it's kind of like you getting into more like, you kind of like connecting material reality with the spiritual reality, with like heaven and earth like united, because sphere is ideal kind of ideal, not material object. It's like just ideal form, you know, like sphere. So let's see. And so why visual perception is a sphere? Because if it's just a box, it's kind of like a little too simplify, right? Because like if we like orient in the world is just speaking about like front, back. It's like, okay, where I hear this sound, and you can only answer for yourself like, oh, it's on the left, right? Or like it's on the right. It's kind of too little information. It's, you know, you will be like too much kind of depraved from reality, right? But sphere, it means like now you have like back, front, left, right, and you have all this like 360-degree kind of around, right? So you can say exact degree. So it's like if front is like 0, then right will be like 90-degree, then here we have 45-degree, then here we have like 22.5, and like you can be like precise, like 2 millimeters to like kind of super small dimension, right? And you have this measurement like horizontally 360 and vertically 360. So now you can like spot now you can talk about direction like in a very, very detailed system of coordinates, right? So this, what is your visual perception? It's your spatial perception, you know? So visual, it's like very small part of it. First of all, it's a spatial perception. Visual, you know, is like, again, if like we need everybody here, right? Like we need masons like 33-degree and some like neuron physiologists, please reply. Because visual perception, it's basically, it's kind of like your brain just making some picture. It's kind of like very secondary. Most important of it, it's just kind of what it's telling you about your surrounding, right? So you need visual to understand, to have orientation in a space. To have orientations like, what the hell is this moving in front of me? It's like, oh, this thing is big, kind of, you know. This what kind of purpose of visual perception, right? So, and then perspective happen when it's like space and visual perception, they kind of like synchronize, right? So we have a kind of sphere inside cube. So this kind of your real world, it's a sphere in a box. It's your matrix. Like, welcome to real world, Neo, right? So, and if like space, this box of a space, if it's top here, right? So, in the front there, and your sphere inside this box also is like absolutely like aligned with it. So top of a sphere, go looking to same kind of, no, looking like speaking, right? Same direction as top, and front of a sphere, same direction as front. Then we will have perspective grid. Look kind of 5-point perspective grid. Okay. But if no, okay, if like 360, it will look like this. So this horizon line, right? It will look like this kind of magnet fields, right? But imagine like situation, right? Top again, front of a space, But now your visual sphere is like top looking up, front looking up, okay, and bottom looking to front. So orientation now of your visual sphere like synchronized with the box in a way that like you see top of a space as your front, right? So in this case, you will have this situation when horizon line look like a circle. But actually, grid will be also kind of look like 5-point grid, just with a magnetic wave, like this. Okay. And there is like third type of this 6-point perspective, which like need need like another special tutorial, and like I did already this tutorial. It's like when we have situation when this visual sphere kind of looking like not directly to the top, not directly to the front, but somewhere in between, right? So in this case, we don't have cross. We don't have this like symmetrical. In this case, everything will be like an ellipse. So in this case, it will be like it's this kind of absolutely crazy. So it will be like RGB 3 circle. So we will have like 3 axes, X, Y, Z will be like 3 circle. So this like nobody will tell you this stuff, you know, like Illuminati, don't kill me, please. Okay. So it's have straight lines, right? But it's look like this. I mean, it's look like some kind of like a sacred geometry, you know. And I did this like in a build in a vector, draw this stuff. It looks so fantastic. So it will be in my second book. So right now, like I finish in motorcycle book, then it will be like dynamic perspective for artists, and I have explaining these grids. So what happened like when we talk about curved horizon line? It's like we take a portion of this 6-point perspective grid. So let's say like this, a y vanishing point, x, x, and z. So it's like we're taking this kind of part, right? So it can be, like I say, it can be. So if we take this part, so it's look like when you draw your picture, you draw it this way, like I show every time, like you draw curved horizon line, x, straight line here, and let's say y vanishing point here. Okay, so we have a down shot with curved horizon line. If we draw up shot, it's just we kind of like turning upside down this grid. So we will have horizon line curves this way, x, y. So here was nadir, now it's zenith. So other color. So this horizon line. Horizon line. So you see again, Why it's curved this way? Because it's a kind of like simplified version of a grid when it's kind of top of a sky, it's in the center. Why it curved that way? Because it's part of a grid where sky is outside like this. Okay. So again, this is what we have in here. So we have nadir, then somewhere here will be x and z vanishing points on this horizon line. So this horizon line, let's take just randomly, because here it's not clear and it's kind of very simplified also. Z, Z, okay. So x. Okay. So, and how grid here is work? It's like this. X go like this. It's also go like this. Так. Так. Z axis. Straight line go like this. Go like this. This type of grid here. And so this one, y vanishing point, just like kind of look like 5-point perspective grid. We have this straight line, right? That's y vanishing point. So no, let's control some peeling here. Control some other guy here. No, anyway, we'll draw now on the paper. Так. Okay. Let's see. Так. Okay. Okay, anyway, so it was hardest kind of part here, so now let's draw on a paper.
Madness.
This is
Jane Bond art.
Так. 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 Like this. Так, Goku Shangekoko Shine. Same. Perspective is easy because require point, horizon line, blah blah. Yeah. Yeah, perspective is easy. Compared to, like, for me, you know, like, compared to how to market, how to sell art, I don't know, like, how to manage YouTube, perspective is easier for sure. But yeah, can say like everything easy when you know what you're doing and when you train enough. So it's just not very, not make much sense actually. Так, so have horizon line as circle. Так, then we have, let's say, z vanishing point on a horizon line. Z vanishing point. We have z axis. Z axis go like this. Up, up. Then we have x axis perpendicular to z axis. On the horizon line it makes x vanishing points. Then x axis curve like this. So just kind of remind, right? Like x axis, it's also synchronized with horizon line. So horizon line, it's essentially intersection with x and z. See, so z go like this from point to point, but also x go like this from point to point. So when z and x like merge together, we have horizon line. Так, and also x kind of making like a magnetic field like this. So the x and intersection here will be y vanishing point. So, and this grid will work both if this y is zenith or its y is nadir. It's the same grid. Okay, it's just like switch. If it's zenith, then inside horizon line we have sky. If y vanishing point nadir, inside this circle, inside horizon line, will be ground. Okay. Так. Or maybe I will draw it here too. Yeah, let's so make a visual, right? So let's say so later I can share it on Pinterest, like a visual educational material. Так. Okay. So here. So this zenith and this nadir. Okay. Yeah, So, and as I say, let's also show that this grid is kind of like a parental grid for this type of perspective grid. Like when we have horizon line just as a curve without like locking in a circle. And then I forget. No. Let's do like this. Okay. Then we have y-axis. So here is zenith. So here will be x, and here will be z. Go like this. Okay. So why, like again, I say why it's simplified? Because it's slightly different. It's kind of distorted. It doesn't make same form. Curvature is different, you know, and you have a lot of actually flexibility to distort it. Like you see, it's like x vanishing points. They're much closer than here, right? But it still works. It's kind of magic of these tools, perspective grids. Так, so and now let's here on the left and draw this. Have some perfect circle. Oh, yeah, I have some circle. Let's have hole. Okay. Так. So here we'll make x vanishing point. Cut this circle in half, right? So we have half 1 and 2, 1 and 2 x. Also we're doing this line going kind of like to eternity, right? It's just going forever, straight line. Then we in the center will be, in this case it's y vanishing point nadir, y vanishing point below ground, and we make perpendicular, right? Perpendicular, so it's 90 degree to x-axis will be z-axis, and when it intersects with a horizon line we have z vanishing points. Okay, so we have these 5 vanishing points. Then, like in a 5-point perspective grid, this z and x going like this. And what it's make different from 5-point perspective grid is that we need also to draw how x and z going outside of a horizon line of this circle. Так, so and z. Okay. So if you want, you can draw like more, right? Just more of those lines, because they might help you to draw There's like buildings inside. So this grid for this picture and for a right picture. Так. We'll have downshot with curved horizon line, kind of this. Так. So y-axis go like this. Так. Okay, so it's like we have this case. So так, let's do. Here will be the vanishing point. Here x vanishing point. So we have kind of straight lines here like this. Так. So he kind of make it broken perspective grid here actually. Yeah. Okay, let's do like this. Так. So this our y-axis go like this. Так. Z axis go like this. X-axis go like that. Так. So z-axis here, the vanishing point, z-axis, horizon line, and then z go like this, z go like this, z go like this. Same here, x, straight line, horizon line, and then x go like this. Okay. So we have this y-axis, z and x. So now once we have this 3 perspective grid, which kind of this one actually require explanation, because this actually this case, which I was saying, like when we have space and visual sphere, visual perception, kind of looking to corner like this. So it's kind of like if we're looking from top, it's looking like this to the right corner and down, something like a 45-degree to right and 45-degree down. So in result we have this effect like when we have in this 3-point perspective. So, and like I say before, we have for this type of angle we have 6-point perspective grid, which is like, I don't know even like draw it or not. But okay, let's draw, because it's kind of like, it's absolutely advanced perspective here. And like, you know, people like who cannot draw 5-point perspective or like 3-point perspective, they start to asking questions about this type of perspective. And I would say just all the time, right, is not for you. Advanced perspective means you fluent and confident with normal perspective, right? Because without fluency and experience drawing in a like average perspective, like 5-point perspective grid is pretty average. It's kind of simple perspective. If you struggle drawing like finished decent drawings with 5-point perspective, then you just not able, you're not ready, your brain not ready for this perspective, and nobody will explain it for you. You need to prepare yourself for this. Just, it's how it works, you know. You can just go like a hospital and say like, teach me, I want to work on human brains, you know, like I want to help people making like brain surgery today, you know. I'll say, sorry, you can't do this today. It's some kind of background you need certain knowledge, you know, and experience. Like it's not something you can take right now, this kind of meaning of advance, right? So okay, so, and if we no, if I explain it to you kind of, so what we have, it's like this grid will look like this. It's like absolutely secret stuff. Maybe I will delete it after. This type of gatekeeping when for a reason. So this any of this circle can be horizon line. Let's say in this case it's this circle. It's a horizon line. So this is our z vanishing point, this are x vanishing point, and this is y vanishing point. So this is how y vanishing point goes, or y-axis, pardon. Okay, this is how z-axis goes. And this is how x-axis goes. If we take it as a full 6-point perspective grid, okay? So, but here, like I say, we have this like simplified version, like analog to this, right? So in this case, it's drawn this way. It's like say horizon line, z vanishing point, x vanishing point. So this intersection, it's direction of a camera. So we have like this, like this, and this intersection, it will be our y vanishing point. So again, horizon line, z x, they have straight, when they straight lines of z and x, and also straight line of y intersect, it will be direction of a camera. But this one, it's ry vanishing point. So grid go like this for y axis, for z axis, grid go like this. For x axis, grid go like this. Okay. So I'm curious, Goku-chan will say it's still easy perspective. Так. So push your like, share and everything. Just kind of like for gratitude this video exists, and a bunch of video like this in my channel, because just nobody ever explain it to you. Like I kind of predict soon will be everywhere, like people will like talking about this, like it's like everybody know. But you know, so far just nobody ever explaining this. Так, so at least some shares, likes and stuff like this. Push like hype button later will be. Так, so and once we have this grid, right? Like now we draw composition. So now we can put these shapes, buildings, characters, whatever we want. So in this case, let's say we have here like a crossroad. Так, like this. Let's see. Ta-da-da-da. Surfaces. Maybe more narrow. So once you have grid, it became very fun to draw composition, because it feels like you're drawing in 3D. It's like you have actual 3D space. And now you're just like placing stuff in this space. So here's like have a road, then put some buildings. See, here we have this electric pole. So he kind of like standing on electric pole. Так. Yeah, here he kind of so he draws this guy actually with a mistake, because and it's interesting. It's kind of interesting because like his upper body, right, this part, it's actually above eye level. Like our camera, our viewer level is here with this guy face. Let me draw it here. Okay. So so when we have something above horizon line, it means we're looking up. Okay, because like here is my eye level, right? Something above eye level, it's like something I'm looking from down to up, right? So, and if we have like dude here, right? So if draw it like properly in perspective, it should be something like this. So now we start to looking at him from down to up. So this part like kind of below his waist, we're looking down. So what is a lesson here? What is important to understand? It's not kind of like, you know, we're not like how to say, like roasting artists, you know, say like, oh, look, you don't know how to draw in perspective. No, absolutely opposite actually, right? It's like important lesson here is that like almost like most, like really say most, majority of works of master have some kind of like critical errors. It might be error in perspective or in proportion, or always they have they're doing some mistakes. And this one everybody taking like Tekkonkinkreet as example of some like super amazing perfect perspective kind of, right? And then here we see it's a plenty of weird stuff actually in his drawing. Like, so beginner artist, he kind of can spend like years like building his confidence, practice perspective grids, boxes and everything, because he want to be ready to draw serious art, right? He don't want to look like he don't know what he's doing. He you know, all the stuff. When in reality, he's like top masters, like these artists, forget his name, and Kim Jong-hee and everyone, Katsuhiro Otomo, like they all making like critical mistakes sometimes, and most likely he even did it purposefully. Or you know, he just want him look this way. That's it. He say like, nobody will notice. Like I will draw him like breaking these perspective rules. You know, so just important lesson right here is like you never notice it was wrong. All this time it was wrong. So don't kind of worship rules in a way like when you think you should draw always perfect and always like correct. And you need to be like kind of ready and prepared to draw some real art, kind of, you know. No. Do it today. Draw whatever you want right now. Your crazy stuff. Так. It's kind of his style. No, like this, let's say. Так. So here we have another pool. So then this guy. Close enough. Buildings here. Yeah, it's like everything here kind of slow. So, and also, you know, this kind of one lesson. Don't prepare yourself to make perfect work because you believe professional or master work, it's a perfect work. Because and you believe like nobody can find mistake in the work of master. No, it's never like this. Always somebody will find mistake in everybody work, and you cannot protect yourself from this, from some kind of like kind of imposter syndrome, right? No matter how good you are, there's always somebody like, oh, you don't know how to draw, or it's like, oh, your picture not so good as you think, you know. So instead you just need to develop this experience of dealing with it all the time. It's just kind of like, yeah, I know it's have mistakes, you know, that's it. It doesn't stop me from making more drawings. And the second lesson here is that be careful when you study from other artists' work, right? So you take this work, you're saying like, because you believe it's perfect, because it's a master, right? Because it looks so impressive, and you believe it's have perfect perspective, and you try to study from it like directly, like, but it's a mess. It's like freaking mess. Like right now I'm looking at this, it's like so many sloppy stuff here, kind of, you know, like again, like this tower, like he drew it like this. So like ellipse in the tower here will be flat only if it's on the horizon line, but he make it above horizon line. Above horizon line it should be curved. Like let me let me just, cause important, it's important, maybe a little break it down. Так, so again you see we have this like horizon line here, so this street kind of go like this. Yeah. So this, let's say, X and Z. So you see how he draw this tower here. So yeah, below horizon line we have ellipses. Yeah. ellipses, ellipses, but then like it's already above horizon line. Why we see it as we're looking from top down? And here is flat, right? So it's 100% wrong, right? So it's something like, if you draw like this in art college, your teacher will say like, bro, you will never be real artist. You cannot draw basic stuff. You don't know how to draw boxes. Look, what is that? Like, what is that? He'll just like break your paper, like drop your pencils in the window, say like, get out of here, you're a shame, or you're a disgrace of our art college, you know. So like, wait a second, like, look, these artists, they all drawing with mistakes, and your teacher, he never create art, you know. No, I mean, not every teacher, I mean, just let's say this teacher kind of, right? He's like being so critical and speaking kind of bad words, and discouraging his students because he don't have courage himself. He just like sprayed in his fears, right? Because this is real art. It's wrong, right? Look at this. Dude, this Tekkonkinkreet guy, who everybody talking, like at least in my time, like when I was in art college, everybody was talking like, oh, this guy perspective so amazing, it's like fantastic and stuff, and he making so many errors, right? So consider it's in a, look at this in a right way, all right? What's mean good perspective? It doesn't mean he actually follow every rule. He might make mistakes, and very critical ones. Okay. Так. And same way, right? Like when you draw and somebody look at your drawing, so like, oh my god, like you even don't know how to draw an ellipse in a perspective. But if you like your picture, it's just shut up, you know? Nobody asks your opinion, you know? You don't like my picture, go find some artist for yourself. I like my picture, that's it. I know my ellipses need improvement, and I will improve. And you can close your hole and go somewhere else. Because we are not fighting with the viewers here, right? We don't want to like prove anyone like, look, I can draw like blah 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 blah. No, it's stupid. Just take it out from your head. You create picture from like I think it was in the niche kind of, right? Say like from position of abundance. You overwhelmed, you want to share something, you just like excited, like, oh, look at this stuff, look, like some crazy pose or whatever, right? You want to share your feelings, you want to share your image, your kind of you making a good thing, you know, like you are contributing for people life. It's not about you in a personal way, like you are not presenting yourself to people. It's a totally different. So these people like who criticizing you for your work, they're stupid, because you're not presenting yourself. You're creating image. It's about work you're making. It's not about you. And if work is good, that's it. You like it or not. And can you draw ellipse or can you not you draw ellipse? It's details. It's from like backstage details, you know. It's like, whoop. So just I don't know, just keep it in mind. Так, so whatever. Just we keep drawing here. You make composition. Так. Cause just don't want to draw too much lines for pencil. Так. So write me, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Or do you find it's useful? So here today's like example with Tekkonkinkreet works, but I have also other tutorials where I talking only about this type of perspective grids. So you can look in the history. Also, so you look my previous videos, right? So you can find more information about this type of perspective. And still, if you will not find enough information, you know, write me. Maybe I will make one more video talking again about this. But also, like I said before, you should be aware that if you kind of like drawing, like it's your first week, first months of drawing in general, then don't try to understand this perspective right now. You don't need it. You need some more basic perspective. Because like why I say this is not like kind of gatekeeping, you know, it's like I hate this kind of stupid word. It's just because you will waste your time. Because from my experience, from like working with different students, you know, and just seeing them, that's how it always works. Like if you're not understand like more basic levels, you will never understand advanced levels, right? So and you will keep trying, and you will just burn out. So and when I see this from beginning, I can say already it's some kind of like entertainment maybe for you. It's some kind of egg, how's it call it? Egg chasing or something. So you just trying to do this because you don't want to draw simple pictures, kind of, right? You don't want to feel like you're a beginner. You don't want to feel like you're average artist or average beginner. You think you're smarter than everyone, so it's kind of also egoistic, kind of, right? Oh, we need to be more humble. So if teacher tell you learn basics first, yeah, it's advice from experience. It's not to humiliate you and say you're not smart enough. If you're so smart, you will figure out it all already. So if you didn't figure out all perspective already before open YouTube, then it's just a fact. You're not smarter than most of people. So так. Drawing. Yeah, maybe also can compare like jumping into like 6-point perspective from beginning. It's like when you go to gym and you try to lift weights like these guys who been in the gym like 5-10 years. These huge mutants like lifting like 200 kilograms and use like, oh, I think I'm strong. And there's definitely some people who can do this, right? There's some huge people, some people like maybe who never been in a gym, but they have like crazy genetics. So they just, I don't know, from making like morning exercise, they have already like huge, strong muscle. Like, you know, like cats. Like I never see a cat in the gym, but they're like they have body of a sport master, Olympic champion, kind of world class. So, and there is people in some way also like this. Some people they just born like a exceptional, smart and physical, like superhuman. Or not. I just kind of made it up right now. Yeah, it's kind of funny stuff about, you know, talking on the camera. Like, if you say anything like without question mark in the end, it sounds like you are like making like super concrete statement. it's like oh my god, I'm not like kind of speaking, like I'm not like making statements and lecturing like in everything I say. Sometimes it's just talking. But this is how video works. Like this is effect of this media, right? Like audio or video recording make everything sound like not just some kind of like mind experiment, but it's like a rather like statement from, and then people like start to like arguing with you. It's like if you're saying something which you've been like believing all your life and you want to defend this position. It's like, oh, you mentioned Illuminati, you must be kind of into conspiracy or something. But it's kind of like sometimes it's really, really crazy, really interesting. Because we see how a huge part of this like hidden meanings in art, which is kind of like related to certain occultism. So it was with Space Odyssey, and now is like with every Hollywood movie basically, you know. So I will rather say it's like if movie don't have some kind of like let's say like religious or occult layer, then it's a lazy movie, because they all have all a kind of top tier movies, they have this layer. And they making it like so deliberately, like using, they have kind of like, I don't know, like a reference sheet when they even following color codes, numbers. They probably have some guys like who's walking from studio to studio and telling them like which color and the number they need to use in the movie. Some kind of magic department. And it's not crazy idea, because I have like kind of solid proof, at least with movie. This like first Mad Max, like Road of Fury. They have like interview. I have it in my Discord. Interview with creators of this first movie. So, and they have guy who specifically was like spent like he says like year and a half, I think he spent to align storyline, movie storyline, everything like characters, environment, everything in a visual kind of visual part of movie, align everything with esoteric. So he was a kind of like sit and study, like finding parallels in esoteric to make sure like every visual will have some esoterical like layer in the movie, you know. So idea is that there is some guys who's like really like who's a job to put esoterical layer in the movie. It's not a crazy, it's kind of real thing. Oh, and reasons might be different actually, right? I think it's like more correct will be say that there is no one reason for this. Reasons can be different. People can be just really like into some type of spiritism. Other people, they might just treat it as a part of a tradition, kind of, you know. It's like if you want to make strong story, it should have like this intertextuality with this kind of layer of reality, you know, like a myth layer, mythology, mythology, yes. Because if you don't have this mythological layer, then it's just not work. Your story don't work, because again, it's related with this principle, which is kind of evident for everybody in human arts. It's that there is nothing new under the sun, right? So, and if you taken some type of story, you should connect it with kind of whole this lineage, kind of attach it to it, and inevitably it will lead it to kind of ancient times when people did this as a ritual. So in the root of all this kind of theater is kind of ritual theater, kind of, right? It wasn't like secular performance. In the root has always been like kind of religious thing. So that's why kind of this layer important, I guess. Так. Even perspective have spiritual roots. Like I will make article about this. If you're curious, write me in the comments if you want to learn about this. So I will make article and maybe video. Yeah, maybe I will like record video about like history of perspective. It's very interesting. Так, so here we have like pedestrian walk, some vehicles. Так. There is fish. Oh, it's even roadfish. Fish. Some crazy pipes. Dun, 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 dun. Da-dum, da-dum. Dun, 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 dun. It's kind of like stripper music. Maybe I should. It's like. Woo-hoo. Yeah, maybe if you will drop donations, I will like strip for you. It's like, you know, art is life, is hard, needs to survive somehow. It's like yeah, and I need this like long hair, forget it. I like been teaching perspective all the time. No money. Time to go to strip club. No, it's AI. I generate like this style called funk metal. I don't know if it's real, but I call it this way. Yeah, I can listen without copyright. Yeah, nice overdrive. Dum 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 dum. Let's try this. Yeah. Oh, so cool. Like a night was.
Don't let go. Show me the trick. I wanna know. Jane Bond art. Jane Bond art. The best art tutorials in the universe. Jane Bond art. Jane Bond art. The best art tutorials in the universe. From rough first sketch to clean, bold frame, every little move you say it name. I miss the shape you guide me through. One more try and it comes in blue. Hands up, don't let go. Show me the trick. I wanna know. Jane Bond art. Jane Bond art. The best art tutorials in the universe. Jane Bond art. Jane Bond art. The best art tutorials in the universe. When my lines shake, you keep them steady. When I
Yeah.
feel stuck, you make me ready.
Так.
I keep coming back for one more chance. You turn a scribble into a Jane Bond art. Jane Bond art. The best art tutorials in the universe. Jane Bond art. Jane Bond art. The best art tutorials in the universe. Grab a pencil, get ready to create. Jane Bond art tutorials, it's never too late. Never too late. From beginners to the pros, we'll show you the way. Drawing cityscapes like gods. Shining bright as day. Oh yeah. Through grids and dimensions, you'll top. Draw like a god with perspective so divine, so divine. Your art will blaze with power that shines. With each stroke of your hand, you'll paint the city alive, alive. From the rooftops to the streets, your talent will thrive. You'll reach the top of glory. Your art will blaze with the power of the god.
Брум-брум-брум-брум-брум. Дум-дум-дум. Так. Сейчас. Та-ра-ра-ра. Nice. Where's oh, some company. It's my drawing assistant, Mr. Viking. Substitute teacher. Hello, Sufit. Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you for visiting. Yes, Sufit. I forget how to spell properly. He have a super cool YouTube channel. Check it out. It's like he really draw like Kim Jong-gi. Cool, thank you. Так. Maybe we can do some collaboration. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you're interested, we can try and make collaboration next time, sometime. Thank you anyway. Dun, dun, dun. Nice. Yeah, see you. Okay. This music was a little wild. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, this AI compositions. They're like some kind of like audio stimulus, because they have these sounds like which I like in like guitar, bass, overdrive, but definitely sometimes like very messy. It's like AI metal dreams. Так. So it's kind of very interesting thing here about drawing in perspective. You know, like you have no idea uh, how easy it is, kind of like, unless you kind of like build this your own. I don't know. It's like you need to walk it through. So when you practice, when you experiment, when you experience of making pictures, which is like finished pictures, you know, so it should be something complete on the paper, not just like random marks, not like you just draw a leg in perspective and then it's just void around. No, it's just make some finish pictures, finish drawings. And with this practice, with this experience, happen not like you know, it sound always like sound very big, kind of like you building your skills, you building your tools. In reality, most of it is just adjustment. So imagine like all this theory you learn in the first week or in the first day, you know. And when you will keep practicing, it's not like kind of you learn some new theory. In reality, you just figure out how it works, and then it's a lot of tiny adjustments. This is what you need to do. And you can make these tiny adjustments when you make something. You know, you should work with some actual work to be able to make such adjustments. And then eventually you understand how to work with it, how it works for you. So, which is like, how can you control mistakes, errors, right? So to which extent you can make errors? How can you distort perspective grids? How can you use perspective for your benefit? Not be like, you know, slave of certain rules, you know, but being like a master of your tools, right? You use them to reach your goals. Like, so you need to make these goals, right? So all this is kind of a lot of tiny minor nuances. And this is what you're actually learning. So because like at the beginning, what you're actually kind of your frustration is about is because kind of like everything unsynchronized. Is like everything going a kind of against flow, against the grain. It's just like, you know, this feeling like when we have like, why? I was like, I kind of know how to do this, but practically can't. Practically is like there is something kind of distract process, something like sabotaging. There's like, I don't know, certain undercurrents I don't understand, and they don't allow me to draw in the way I wanted to draw. So, and you can only untangle it, decode this when you try more. You need to keep trying, and you will better understand like what kind of, how can you, with little adjustment, you can fix it. Like kind of like instrument which is out of tune, right? So you try to play, I don't know, nothing else matters on guitar, but it's guitar out of tune. You know, you play proper notes, but it just can't sound right if you're not tune your guitar. And beginner like artists, you know, it's like kind of problem with visual art. It's not so systematized as the music. Like in the music, it's crazy. There's like there is science kind of. They calculate everything. You literally can go and like kind of as like a mathematic almost, like music composition, all this stuff, like solfeggio. In art, it's like when you study it, most of time you feel like you're just like you're kind of caveman, found guitar in the forest, and now you need to figure out how to play this guitar, and you have no idea, it's like out of tune or like what does mean. It just doesn't make proper sound. and you keep try playing and like figuring out like what's wrong with it. So same with perspective, composition. You need to keep trying it, keep playing, and make this like adjustment, tuning, and then at certain moment it's just like start to sound like you catch this how they call it, synchronicity kind of, right? When it's like exactly as it should be, and it's just unbelievable. Так. When you can draw in the way you want to draw, and even better than you try, better than you expected. This kind of happen effect after practice, when you keep kind of adjusting, and like in a video, I have video like how to improve in art, like everybody must watch. It's like a very good video talking about this, like what will help you to improve. So and they are talking like in reality to improve is like all you need is just every time try your best and kind of like reflect on your results, right? So you like right now you try to create image, like you want to make like fisheye picture, for example, like some dynamic pose or vehicles in some cinematic scene, right? So you create certain goal in your mind, you try to achieve this goal, you try your best. It's right now what you can do, and there it's always not as good as no, there are always some mistake. It's always some kind of result is more down to earth, down to like it's material world, like in our imagination we kind of always expect it will be more perfect than it appears to be in the end, you know. So, and every time you finish your picture, you can say like, ask yourself like what you can do so next time when you draw similar picture, it will be better than this one. And this all you need. That's it. So just take next picture. Now you draw, try to make better than before, and like do your best to make best you can right now. And in the end, again, you look and say like, okay, what this time I can improve, so next picture will be better. And you do hundreds pictures like this, 1,000 picture like this, and eventually is like with a tiny adjustments, each new picture, making new adjustments. Eventually you create like very nuanced, very kind of complex and unique style, you know. You really learn how to draw from practice. So it's always work. Maybe can say, maybe proper way to say is like it's the only way how you improve. Yeah, and theory and everything is like your supportive. Is like you know, it's a very complex and it's help you improve faster. It's like boosting this process. But what we see, people like confuse. They trying to do only this like theory training, and they almost don't do practice training. They almost not practice this approach when they try, do their best, and try to make better next time. Because they like draw one or two pictures and they're like, oh, it's no good. I want to draw like Kim Jong-gi, but this is my first two drawings. They're like so bad. Maybe I need to learn more. Maybe I need to watch more tutorials. This kind of like how they think, right? No, you need to draw more. Or just improve your quality through practice. No matter like how you study theory, you can't avoid this practice. You must have it. You must do it. Так, so let's me. I lost green color. Yes. Okay. So anyway, let's do it here. Horizon line. Так. I think it's called like positive feedback loop. So when you make something, you review result, you make adjustment to make it better next time. So, and I think like why most students or beginner artists don't do this, it's kind of this fear of making mistakes, right? Like fear of kind of like we have this imposter syndrome, and you're afraid when you make mistake, you will prove that it's not syndrome, it's reality. It's like, oh my god, I'm no artist because I make mistake, right? So you try to prepare yourself, drawing some exercises. So now when you will draw your picture, you will not make these mistakes, like beginner mistakes or whatever. You will not make mistakes which people can spot, kind of can show like, you draw wrong, right? So, and from this kind of fear, people kind of like avoiding making pictures, and they keep kind of like they stuck in this kind of like exercise and kind of, you know, this half-ass drawings when they say is like it's so when I say practice before, right, like I say from your own practice, I mean not like study drawings but finish work drawings, right? So when this finished work drawings give you this experience of improving kind of from analysis. When you do kind of practice drawings, like you know, like a school homework or just like this like drawing little something, like without actually trying to draw artwork, you try to play safe, right? You just if somebody will say like, oh, you make mistake, you will just say like, it's not I'm not making picture, I make exercise, right? So yeah, it's all kind of this fear of looking not real artist or looking not educated, not professional or whatever. Vulnerability kind of, right? And it's a fundamental problem. It must be fixed not by, you can't fix it by make yourself good enough so nobody can harm you, right? No, you can fix it only with how to say, you fix it with understanding there is no fix, and you just need to live with it and ignore kind of this, you know. It's like You know, sometimes you feel hungry, right? You can't solve it forever. You can solve it only when you eat, like today, kind of, right? So then when you eat, you don't feel hungry. Same. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you feel kind of uncomfortable. Don't try to avoid it. Just accept sometimes you feel like different feelings. And so what? Don't be too kind of vulnerable about this. And some people, they feel uncomfortable and they want to make you uncomfortable. And you can't avoid it. No matter how much you will like train yourself to be bulletproof, they will always get you. And more you're afraid of it, more vulnerable you actually will be. Right? Anyway, don't know why I'm talking. It's like psychology kind of. Suddenly it became like psychology tutorial. Like, wait a second. Let's try to find some other game. It is really too strong. Suddenly. Because kind of like, yeah, also it's kind of, it's even more crazy. Because like when we afraid of this like negative feedback from people, like who like, oh my god, they see I cannot draw, right? In reality, like most of time, like 99%, it's not happen actually, right? In reality, 99% is happen in your head. Like I know exactly, it's like from my experience, like for example, when I draw outdoors, right? My first like really like 100 drawings maybe. Like it feels like everybody judging you. You know, like you draw a picture and it's like, and kind of my brain kind of creating voices, like kind of people look and say like, who you think you are? You think you're real artist? It's like, look at him, like he think he can draw, you know, stuff, something like this. It's so crazy. And like and sometimes it's real, like but in 10 years maybe it happened like 3 times, like in 10 years. Just imagine, right? Like it was like 3 times when somebody actually said, somebody actually approached. Like one time was a guy like, it's like approaching me, it's like, oh, artist, I'm also artist. And it's like, and then he look on my drawing and he's, oh, oh my god, I thought you're a real artist. And he just walked away. It's like he almost like throw up on my drawing and like, oh my god, like shame on you. Why you draw on the street? I saw you're a real artist. Are you just crazy? You're just like mental person, like pretending to be artist here in the street, you know. And it was fine, you know. He is not like, he doesn't like attack me. He's not start to screaming like imposter, imposter, like call the police, or like let's lynch him. Everybody like, let's like, I don't know, like tear him into pieces and like throw them to pigs, kind of. Oh, it's just like, okay, it was funny, you know, like I'm glad this happened because it's so funny situation. It's like I was just like, yeah, it's embarrassing, but I was laughing really like, it's like, yeah. Because kind of like, I don't know, like I will never say anything like this. This guy's like, I doubt he's like great artist himself, you know. I'm sure like if I see his work, it's also not like perfect kind of work. So it's just funny. So, and when you drawing, when you try really to draw, like express yourself, kind of, or draw certain image, deliver certain message in your drawing, right? Like when you have this like artistic task, yeah, you always feel vulnerable if you not practice enough, kind of, right? Like when it's your first attempts, it always feels super uncomfortable. But this only way how to get over it is to doing it and feel uncomfortable. You feel uncomfortable and you keep doing it. That's it. And sometimes you just feel great. Yeah, maybe this guy was a troll, kind of, you know. No, but no, I think he's a real artist. Like some artists really like this. Like when I was in St. Petersburg in Russia, so like it's famous for people like this. It's like my teacher, you know, like teacher of my teacher, everybody telling the story how they was drawing and some like painting or drawing in St. Petersburg, and somebody approach. It's just kind of like Russia people like this, you know. Some like artist approaching you, you say like, "Oh my God!" Like it's like, do you like is this your first drawing? It's like, or like we'll say like, "Oh man, don't draw anymore. You need to do something else," you know. And I was drawing, and there is some like guy like artist like approach me, was start boasting like how many exhibitions he have, and like he tell me like I drawing. It's like you draw in windows, they're too boring, you know. Like when I draw windows, I draw every window with a character. You know, each window have its own personality, you know. You need to feel it. Don't just draw it like some boring geometry. Feel windows. And it's like, oh my God, go away, please. So, так. One time I was doing like workshop, and one like rich lady kind of, you know, I don't know what's called, a madame kind of like arrived to my workshop. It was free workshop in a cafe. And she kind of like arrived, like I draw, like here's like people standing, I explain them like how to draw perspective and stuff. And I love to draw cables, you know, so I see this kind of like in a Starbucks, you can look in the ceiling, right? And you will see pipes, cables, all these like conditioners. It's the best stuff to draw, right? So, and I was drawing this stuff, you know, and people watching, and there's this like madame kind of approaching. Just like look kind of in my drawings, like, oh my God, it's so ugly. It's so ugly. He just walk away. So like, lady, you're late for my workshop. Mm, thank you for your opinion. Nobody was asking actually, you know. So yeah, I mean, like usually everybody like afraid of this imposter syndrome, like negative feedback, or somebody will kind of like um judge you and like humiliate you, kind of. Usually it's the people who never experience this in their life, right? Or I don't know, maybe some Freud will say, some you go to psychologist, will say, look back in your childhood, maybe you draw like a circle, you show it to your mama, and mama say, look, why are you showing me this? You think you're artists? No, you're no artist, and after you're afraid to draw all your life because of this. This is all bullshit. Just because why is all bullshit? All this like childhood trauma. No, I mean, if you're not being like literally like violated, right? But kind of all this like verbal trauma from childhood or like negligence, all this nonsense. Why is bullshit? Because happen with everybody. Like, I don't know, like 99% of people. It's like, I see like so rarely like happy people with a happy childhood, like who wasn't um, who doesn't have any kind of traumatizing experience. Like, it's so rare, and you can see them, they're kind of like shining, but not it's not guarantee that they will have like happy grown life, because eventually they also face this kind of like fears, same um how's it called, like attractions, kind of, I'm kind of same problems, right? Like same vulnerabilities like everybody else. So anyway, you instead my kind of vision of this, right? Instead of like digging all this nonsense, you just learn how to deal what you have right now already, kind of without kind of like anyway, this kind of approach doesn't work. Like what they claim, right? They claim in psychology, they say you need to name, you look in the past, you name problem, and just because you became aware of this problem, it will disappear. You just need to look at it, and it will disappear, evaporate. Kind of, you sit and like look at this, like, oh, or you need to cry over it. You need to feel. No, if we see all these people losing their mind, they're only what happens. They just became more and more emotionally unstable because they're too much focused on their emotions, and they became like even more vulnerable, even more sensitive. So it's a huge scam. Like this, like Tony Soprano kind of meetings with a psychologist. Yeah, it's like, I think they also mentioned it kind of in Soprano, right? So it's like Tony, I think he was talking this. So it's like, in reality, what actually helped him is just he have somebody with who he can talk. His problem is like his wife, he can't speak with his wife like about his problems, and he can speak about his problem with his kind of mates, right? Because he has this kind of leader position. So what this doctor did for him is just basically she just was his friend. Like kind of friend escort. Anyways, kind of this. Так. Yeah, so I think for today, finish here. Thank you everybody for watching. Yeah, you can join Discord, link in the posts. And yeah, we'll put link also in the comments. And share, like, and watch my other videos.
Bond art. Art. Gene